Boom, boom.
We are back live with 4 players who have actually reached a deal.
That's exciting. Do you know what they've dealt for, Chris?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Wow.
Because Lazarova takes home 23,400 euros for her efforts, but they're still, well, first things first, they're still playing for 8,600 euros, which is a lot of money.
And the trophy.
And the trophy. You can't forget the trophy. Seat 2 and Lazarova takes home 23,400 euros. Our next player, whose name I definitely remember still, after having commentated for 6 hours almost.
Yosvanov.
That doesn't sound right.
Yosinov?
Yosinov takes home 20,200 euros. Our UK player, Bostock takes home 15,200, and the Estonian champion takes home 19,100 euros. And more good news. We are back on Twitch chat.
Yes. Talk to us. We made it work.
Please do talk to us. My name, of course, is Chris, and I am joined by Kat Arnsby, who has been here for the whole day. It hasn't been a long day, to be fair, but still, she has stuck with me. So get your hearts out for Kat here. I know you enjoy every single time Kat is joined, and I do enjoy myself. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for making this stream what it has been. So much fun.
Nice. A walk straight out of the gate for Bostock. It's going to feel pretty good. I mean, technically, he actually had the best hand at the table with Queen 9 suited, but a walk always feels good. Thanks for the heart, Dark Angel.
Dark Angel gets the heart out. Get your hearts out. If you're joining us from Facebook, come over at twitch.tv/thrill-of-poker and get your hearts out for Kat. And for the players as well.
Yeah.
And Bostock, he can still walk away from this final table with the most money. Yes, he got the least amount of money with the deal, but still, should he win and take home the extra 8,600 euros, he's still the winner here.
Absolutely.
Expect to see players play not as tight anymore. I guess the play should loosen up after having made a deal. Yes, there's still quite a bit of money to play for, and of course the title. It's the very pretty looking the trophy, I mean. So
absolutely. Everyone likes to have a live trophy knocking about the house somewhere, even if you just use it as a paperweight. I mean, it's always there as a reminder, isn't it?
And apparently there's a drinking game going on for whenever I say padam. So to all you guys who are playing a drinking game, padam, badam, 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 screw you.
What does padam
Get
mean?
drunk.
I'm drinking. I'm drinking a lot because you just said it loads of times.
I guess whenever I start or complete the sentence with but
Oh, but Right, okay. Stop saying but. It's rude.
I'm trying to get the putts out of this one.
What has happened here? Oh my goodness. Okay, I've had enough vodka that I was looking at her outs and thinking she flopped quads. That's the stage we're at, to be honest, Chris. If anyone's in Bulgaria and wants to step in the comms booth and take over from this drunken crazy woman, it might be the time.
Yeah. No, I don't agree with you, but it's all. And now I notice myself saying that one more time.
Yeah, so nice pot for Famitsa there. Again, a weird. I say weird bluff, but it's just I say weird because it just seems out of character. But I guess they are the poker players that are most dangerous in the long run. When you literally don't know what they're doing. I mean, I would not have thought he was bluffing 9 high there, and he was. So.
And
I
that's
have no reads
almost
on
the
this
first hand of the deal, so maybe he has changed up his strategy.
Interesting to
coming into the final stages here, and knowing that he has finally guaranteed himself that 10K that he needed for the Russian Mafia, so he can play a bit more looser now.
True. I mean, Compu73R says it's play money time, 4-way all in. I mean,
it's not really play money, isn't it?
No, I don't know what kind of baller lifestyle Compu73R is leading, but 8,500 euros is some significant beans to me. I mean, maybe I'm just living a poor life, but
it seems the way for me as well.
Yeah. Well, you're a struggling actor, so
it's more reasonable for me.
Yeah, you can be bought.
But you did leave that lifestyle behind, and you are balling with online casinos, and you have all that online casino money.
I have a proper job now. Yes, I do. I actually go into an office, which is something I never thought that would be
Do
the
you
case.
share it with someone, or do you
Yeah,
have your own?
we have a lovely open plan office, and I work with a great team of people, young, vibrant people. So it's good. It keeps me young.
Do you have the one old guy in the office as well?
Well,
or are you the
our boss
one
is, no, I'm the second oldest. The boss is older than me, so that's okay. I'm not the oldest person in the office. But thanks for pointing that out, Chris. Have a good day.
For.
Yeah, no. So I got my hand in Chris's face, and I think we're probably going to see a ship from Bostock here. Or they might try and get tricky, but given the action of the players previously, I think probably open shipping this is just your best move. He agrees, and all his chips are in. Oh, hello.
And Lazarova might call him now.
Well, we've seen she has a tendency to play these aces when she's facing a short stack shove. So,
as well as from the first 3 hands, we've seen players get walks 2 times, which means they're just waiting for a hand to go all in with and just try to gamble it up.
Sure.
And I think Ace Queen and Ace 9 might be up in that range.
Oh, she nearly made a firm decision and then changed her mind. Interesting.
But she did call with Ace 5 previously.
She did, but that
with
was
a
anger.
very similar against a tighter opponent.
A tighter opponent. So, I mean, I'd be surprised to see her fold this here, especially given the pressure is off a little bit following the deal. But I don't know, she seems to be thinking about it a lot more than she was about the Ace 5.
That's surprising to me, because for me it looks like now is the time to actually call it and know that Bostock has nothing else than the win to go for. He needs to gamble it. Well, luckily for Bostock, he actually has a very strong hand. And Lazarova folds.
Interesting. Nice fold.
Let's see what Yosifov does. He folds as well. And Bostock, a bit unluckily for him, takes down the blinds and antes with a very strong ace-queen of spades.
Yeah, four-handed, that is a sexy-looking hand, isn't it? You want a call, really, there, with ace-queen of spades. But this has kind of been Bostock's final table. He's been getting called when he's been light, or getting reshipped when he's been light by a stack he has to call off.
It's not just working out for him for the past couple...
No, it's been brutal.
It has been brutal for him. And I must apologize. I still want to explain myself. In my day job, I am the oldest dude, and I'm not.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, you're a child.
And I'm a child.
Yes.
As you might call me, I'm a child. But in my day job, I'm like the old guy. Everybody makes fun of me.
Secondary school when you were getting born. That's how old.
And this is
I
my
am.
life with the people I work with.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know my pain then, and yet you still make age-related
This is why I have to take those opportunities to like. Give the pain over to someone else for a change. I'm sorry for doing that.
No, that's fine. But
you don't seem impressed at all. You're like, cool.
No, but it's harder for men when they get old. They get to my age and they lose their hair. So it's difficult. It's difficult to be a man, I think. That was a deliberate troll of the tournament manager, Rich, who happens to be in here. And while he's handsome and brilliant, he's as bald as a coot. So. Okay, Yosifov with an ace. See, it was Yosifov, I told you.
Yeah, Yosifov. Did you say Yosifov?
I said something close enough. For a British person trying to say Bulgarian names, I think I did a fairly reasonable job.
You did a good job, I have to agree.
British people are not renowned throughout the world for their linguistic capabilities, let's be honest.
But Lazarova raised it up with 10-9 from the button.
Ace deuce off suit, not looking so good facing a raise.
I don't want to see a call, but I would respect a raise.
Yeah, I'm alright with the raise there.
Something about like 460, 440. But I expect to see a smaller raise, but I would like to see a bigger raise. I think it's like 440. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, and gets a fast and quick fold from
as he
Lazarova.
Yeah, it's always nice to, especially short-handed, to raise those aces, 3-bet those aces, those crappy aces from the small blind. You're holding that ace. The blocker effect kicks in. I mean, she's just much less likely to have those big hands when you are sitting there with an ace. So I like his style. And he has to play hard now.
And Mark, being old is super relative. As I just said, in my day job, I'm 28 and I'm considered like old and almost dying already from old age. But
acting is a tough profession for being old. And Mark says you're 63. Well, as long as you're young at heart, Mark, to be honest.
63 is the new 40.
Oh, is that true?
Well, that's what they say. I mean, the quality of life has gone up so much. So You still, yeah.
Yeah, we look like we had a bit of a misdeal there. The dealers here are using what's called the slide delivery method, and it's very old school and it's very posh. But sometimes, if the cards, especially if they're a bit worn and they've got a bit of stickiness on them, it can cause problems.
And it is warm here in Bulgaria.
It surely is, yes. So that was a misdeal, but you know, it happens. If you want no misdeals at all, then play online on the Microgaming Network. How's that for a pimp?
Smooth.
Oh, yeah, seriously, I should be on pimp money, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
48 today. Happy birthday,
Happy
Donna.
birthday,
That's
Dark
amazing.
Angel.
Oh, I think Donna's hitting on Rich a bit there. I think you've got a fan in the chat.
Oh yeah, I think she
Donna
is.
says bald is beautiful. Oi, oi.
Do you have someone specific in mind?
Yeah, I think she's after a bit of Rich. To be fair, Rich, I believe, is happily married. His wife must be a saint. That's all I can say. I've not met her, but she must be an absolute saint among women.
Yeah.
Oh, people like us two keep you young. Well, that's fantastic, Mark. Come, get yourself to an MPNPT event. Let's go out for some beers, and let's keep the night young. I mean, usually we're up till about 6 a.m. drinking at these events, aren't we, Chris? So,
yeah.
Yeah, you come along with us, Mark, and let's get sloshed until 6 a.m.
I can't wait. I hope to see you, Mark, at the Battle of Malta at least.
Yeah, please say hello. You know, guys, if you catch us at an event, do come up and say hi, because it's, you know, people from online. It's weird, isn't it? Because you know their name and you feel like you know quite a lot about them, but then you don't know their face, and you've never actually met them. Like Donna, I consider Donna to be a friend of mine, and yet we haven't actually met yet.
There's so
in
many
real life.
people in chat that I feel like I'm almost like friends with, or at least I'm very friendly with them, and I have no idea what they're like in real life, and I would love to. I would love to find that out. So if you want to know what I look like, I'm the dude hovering around cats with yellow pants.
With yellow pants.
With yellow pants.
Yeah,
so
I
if you want to say hi to me as well, then you're always welcome to do that, and I'm always up for beers.
Yeah, and I usually have a red bet hoodie, and am on some level of monkey tilt. That's my general disposition.
Yes, Labaco, we did make a deal, four-way deal, with 23,000 going up top at this moment, but they're still playing for 8.6 thousand, so a lot of money to be played for.
So Julie says she's hopefully going to Malta, and 6 a.m. is early, Cat. Yeah, Julie, you are well known as a party animal. It's tough news to keep up with Julie Whitworth at an MPNPT event, but we've done it a few times. I think particularly Tallinn, actually, Julie. I reckon it was about 9 a.m. and then we went straight for breakfast, if my memory serves well. So.
Party's till 9 a.m.
Oh, yeah, it was utter carnage. But Julie's a party animal. And a great example of how not being 25, because you are not 25 years old, Julie, and you party like a 25-year-old. So I've got maximum respect for Julie's partying abilities. And Julie's one of our regulars. We have a lot of regulars on the MPNPT tour, and that to me is kind of evidence that it's not just about poker, because if it was, these guys would be in Vegas right now, and
what
they're
I've
not.
seen, what I've seen is once you come here, you really really do want to come back, as long as you have at least the slightest of opportunities. And of course, the MPN, they give a lot of opportunities with the satellites as well.
Oh yeah. And it's not a super expensive package. I mean, some of these
No.
these huge tournament buy-ins, the package is massively expensive, and so much of it ends up in the tournament prize pool. If you have a bad day on that particular day one you play, it's not great. Whereas I do quite like the idea that these MPNPT packages are, even if you don't have the hugest wage in the world, over a few months you could probably save up for an MPNPT package.
It's kind of like a vacation with a chance of winning money, and 550 euros. Of course, it's for most of the small stakes grinders, it's a lot of money. But just let's think of it, when you go out in a bar, a proper night at a bar costs you like 100 euros. So you just don't do that for a couple of times in a couple of months, and come do it with us and get a much better experience, I would say.
And Rich is pretty good at finding stuff that works for that level of player. I mean, we're all inclusive here, so no one's paid for a drink. for the last
Not at
4
all.
days here.
Not at all.
When we were in Bratislava a few months ago, that was €50 for a wristband. So €50 bought you all your drinks for the 5 days there. So that the guys who organise these tournaments are pretty good at thinking like that.
They are doing a good job
Yeah,
of getting
sure.
super deals for
Yeah,
the players.
keeping the cost down and aiming it at people. You know, you don't have to be a millionaire to be involved with this tour.
Absolutely.
Which is how it should be. So Lazarova winning another pot.
And speaking of Vegas, €50 is like 4 drinks there. Maybe if you're lucky, like 3 drinks maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you spend the cost of your MPN PT package flying to Vegas.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
let alone everything else. Oh, we've just been handed a note by Rich. I don't know why he didn't just take the headphones and tell you all himself, actually. But oh, he can't talk. Yeah, because he was up drinking until what, 7 o'clock this morning. I hope his wife's not listening to this. He wanted us to remind you that on Fridays we now have an €11 rebuy at 7 p.m. GMT. So that'd be 8 o'clock for you guys at the moment in the UK on BST, and it's for a 550 seat.
So that means we have
so it's
550 seat guaranteed every single time.
Yeah, for an €11 rebuy. But if a package is more your thing, there's so many sick routes, like to the point where I can't even list them all because I got the list of satellites and routes into these packages, and it is just huge for me to remember. For Mitza, we tens again.
Meanwhile, Famitsa finds another pair of tens.
Boom.
I mean,
tens is
at
his
least
hand.
fourth time. At least fourth
Minimum,
time.
Yeah.
As well as having aces, kings, queens. A lot of tens. But he hasn't been in many tough situations with his tens. Once he flopped top sets. Once he flopped an overpair. And once he just folded on an ace-queen board. As long as my memory serves me right.
That is some pretty good memory, Chris, to be honest with you.
I'm weird with that, with cards.
Right.
I can't remember players' names, but I can remember, like, recall every single hand they played.
Wow.
Which is weird.
Yeah, that is probably not what you want to fill up your brain space with, but I mean, each man to their own, you know.
Yeah,
How do you do it as
it's
an
not
actor?
a choice. It's not a choice for me.
How do you get on with remembering your lines? Do you find that easy?
No. I don't find it difficult as well, but I do a lot of improvisation with the lines. I make in my
Oh,
I
your
make
writers love that.
Yeah, they actually do at this point at least. But I make the lines my own in a way, and if I try to not sail away from the main thing, not too much. But I definitely don't memorize the lines exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crikey, these new young actors, my goodness.
Look.
In my day, you either remembered your lines... See, what's happening here? Oh, these cards are really sticking together.
Of course, it depends on the production as well. I mean, if
yeah, you can't misquote Shakespeare, darling.
yeah, exactly. You can't make Shakespeare your own. Yeah, maybe I want to like misinterpret here.
Yeah,
I think Shakespeare meant this here.
You want to put a few brats in Shakespeare. I'm afraid that's just not acceptable.
Well, I'm not an actor who plays Shakespeare, so that's a good thing for me.
Now, we have seen a tendency from Yosifov to call these sort of hands, to limp and play a bit sneakily, and we're seeing it again.
He does once more.
I'm not a huge fan of that at this stage. I think I'd prefer to see a 3-bet against the biggest stack at the table with such a strong hand, but each man to their own.
Yeah, I guess Yosifov has found...
Oh,
indeed. Oh, indeed. Ace, 9 and a deuce.
This girl is on fire.
So Lazarova has a very strong chance of actually eliminating Yosifov just because Yosifov was slow playing, and he knows he's slow playing. And Lazarova's c-bet is strong. No, it looked like 300,000 to me, but it's 120. So very small c-bet instead. And gets just a call.
Well, I think it's sensible. I mean, what can she call him with if he raises?
If
he
there's
raises
like 6 of clubs on a turn, deuce of clubs is almost the same.
Ouch.
It's a complete brick because you can't expect Lazarova to open with anything that contains a deuce, and now pocket deuces are that much less.
Yeah, I mean, if she's got quads, good game. But like you say, that's it really. Maybe ace deuce. Ace deuce of clubs.
Yes, you still listen to sometimes to ace king, ace 9, ace deuce, but there are so many more hands that you are beating. But Lazarova doesn't want to take a lot of value here. Just continues on betting 180,000, which I don't get in 2 ways. If your opponent has an ace, he's gonna pay anyway. If your opponent has a flush draw, you're giving him the actual odds to call you with.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see.
Ooh.
Oh, and now we
And that's a
chopperoo.
chop. Yeah, that's a chop. Unlucky runner for Lazarova. It would be interesting to see should Lazarova just put Yosifov all in here. Because Lazarova is the one blocking the nines as well.
And I mean, there is some flushes, although I think it's so unlikely that she would expect to get called from flushes here. That
And if you, no, but if you think about it, I mean, Lazarova should do it as a bluff, because Yosifov has literally 0 hands that contain a deuce, having the third deuce come on, because maybe pocket deuces, but he's not calling with ace deuce there. So you just push all in to get Yosifov off of an ace.
yeah, I see what you mean. Bluff him off a chop. I mean, wait.
Try to represent.
You're not. Who's folding
Because
an ace
Yosifov,
there, though, really?
Yeah, but you're calling to chop there.
So what you're saying is
Lazarova should do it with nines as well.
right. Yeah. Well, that's so you're saying do it with the ace to balance the times you do it with the nines.
And
or the deuce.
Not
or
just
the,
an ace,
the lone deuce that
but
you
I
may
mean
have
ace
for some
nine
reason.
specifically. Only the ace nine, because you're blocking the nine in
I
case
see.
Yosifov has pocket nines there.
Okay, I see your
So I
logic.
mean, with ace nine, it would make a lot of sense to just overbet jam this one, because you're never losing this one. So might as well try and steal it away. But I think yeah, there's nothing wrong with just check calling or betting
No.
there. But it's just an interesting thought that
I
with
mean,
ace nine you can actually go and overbet there.
That said, that was a massive hand for me last night. 13-handed in the side event was that I basically slightly similar dynamics, and I basically played a flush river exactly like that. I jammed all in, and of course the guy has quads.
Okay.
So it is pretty brutal. When you say you're never losing there, we can't ever say that in poker, really, can
Yeah,
you?
of course.
It's never 100%.
Yeah, but
I still like. I mean, I did
what
what you
I
said.
mean by
I
that
still
is
like
that
my bet,
more
and
often than not, he's not going to have a deuce there.
No, and I did exactly what you said there, hoping to bluff him off a chop. Slash, I didn't really know much about the guy, so it was more as well, he could have had decent premium pockets in that position. So I was maybe thinking he also calls me with kind of kings, queens, jacks. So it wasn't entirely trying to bluff him off a chop. There was a weird sort of, a little bit of both bet, if that makes any sense to anyone.
I get it.
But he had quads, so
but
good game,
the only possible deuce he can have is ace two suited. He's never calling. Well, I can fairly say he's never calling with a king two suited. There.
No,
Deuce
no.
three, no. Queen deuce, no. So ace deuce, and on an ace nine deuce, I think Yosifov will raise the flop.
Yeah.
With his two pair
Yeah.
against.
No, I agree with what you say, and I can back that up with
It's just-
evidence in the fact that I literally did exactly what you said last night. It didn't work out for me because he did have it, but yeah, I still believe you're right, and I'd still make the same play every single time.
I'm not saying that when I'm playing this tournament there that I'm actually even thinking about it, but once you think about this situation, it's like an ideal situation to kind of bluff your opponent off a full house, which is a crazy thing to think of, but at least you're kind of like free rolling on doing that.
Oh, hello. Now, I wonder if we can see Lazarova embody a little bit of Yosifov here, because he has been seen to be flatting ace-king from the big blind, and this would be a perfect time for her to do exactly that, because if she raises, he's gone. So, and now I know we can see his cards, so I don't hate the 3-bet, because against his under-the-gun range, really, probably 3-bet makes sense, but in this exact hand, it would have been lovely to see her do what he does, because he's gone now, really. Unless he fancies some crazy kind of...
He wants to play in position against Lazaro. 6-4 is kind of at least in a cash game, it's
exactly.
a sexy looking hand, isn't it?
Cash game players say this kind of thing all the time. But 6-4, you know, it's got equity. Yeah, everything's got equity.
Yeah, true that.
And I mean, I know there is far less pressure now. The chop has been decided, and there is a fairly small percentage of the prize pool that they're left playing for. But still.
Look at that. The Bulgarians are soaring. They are taking the top 2 chip counts. Something that I expected that would happen, that Fomitsa is just going to kind of dwindle off with his stack.
Yeah, it's
it is
unfortunate.
slowly happening. And Bostock hasn't found anything to play with as well. He kind of looks like tired a bit.
Yeah, well, he's come a long way for this tournament.
He's come a long way.
From the UK.
The blinds are gone now up to 40 and 80,000.
Ooh.
So even shallower stacks. Bostock with like 11 big blinds left only.
Yeah, just 11 big blinds and a
And a
peanut.
jack 5. He's gonna fold that one.
Great. Yeah, just what you want to see.
I really want to see the Estonian Fomitsa to start opening it up. Oh yeah, okay,
Boom,
let's see.
there we go.
Easy,
Let's
easy
have
peasy.
a really lovely hand to do it with.
He's gonna raise this one up, hopefully, up to 175,000. What it looks like.
Probably not going to see any action out of Lazarova here. I mean, she's not adverse to a little bit of trickiness, but I think it's probably wide, even given tricky skills.
And Yosifov can let go of his queen deuce, especially against Fomitsa, who has been by far the tightest player.
And he
shows this. I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be cheeky, but I don't think it makes any difference at this point. I don't think anyone's surprised to see him in the top 5% of opening hands, really.
But he's like trying to advertise that he's only playing strong hands when he's actually only playing strong hands.
Yeah, when everyone sort of already knows that. I get the feeling, I'm coming kind of the conclusion that he's very much a recreational player. He's very excited to be where he is, and he just wants to stay in as long as possible. He wants to stay on the feature. He wants to go home and tell his friends and his partner and whoever else will listen that he won a tournament and took a trophy. And I massively respect that.
And he has guaranteed himself like 20,000 euros.
Yeah.
Sick amount of money.
Exactly. He can buy some really nice presents for his family. Take someone on holiday, you know.
Yeah.
Good luck to him.
And he's a player who has only 3 recorded cashes prior to this tournament, and all of those are from 2014 and 2013. So for the past 5 years, he hasn't been crushing the live scene. So might as well just enjoy it and take the most of it.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Ooh.
Oh baby.
Oh baby. This looks promising.
It does, but she has to keep up her raising. I don't like a limp here from the button now because she hasn't done it before. So if you've had no earlier limping strategy, you can't really ping it in when you've got aces, unfortunately. She needs to...
these are not good hands to be up against when you have aces.
Unfortunate. It's always disappointing. You really want especially a player like Bostock who will not be afraid to 3-bet her fairly light. Like he's going to have a go fairly wide there with 11 bigs and just say, "Come on, then, woman, let's do this." But King Deuce is wide. King Deuce offsuit is wide. I think that's the official worst equity, isn't it? Aces against King Deuce offsuit. That's
A6, I think, is the worst.
Oh, A6 against
A6.
aces.
So you only have the 6 as an out. But yeah, it's very close to that.
Right, yeah.
Being the worst equity.
Yeah, she looks a bit wounded there. It's always horrible when you get dealt the aces and nothing comes of it, but it's just part of the game, unfortunately.
But I love the fact that she didn't show her hands.
No,
she just mocked it and went on as business as usual.
Same raise as she's always done, same fold as she's always done. I definitely think that Miss Lazarova is a force to be reckoned with. She may have only had one cash that we see recorded, but I'm even suspecting she may be a dealer, actually, because her chip handling, see the chip shuffling, she's shuffling like 16 chips there, which is not an easy feat.
Yeah.
I mean, even players who've played live for years can't do that. So I smell something of a roulette dealer, a pit dealer.
All right.
And if you've dealt poker...
That's a professional eye from you, because you've been in that industry and you see those things.
Well, when I was a poker dealer, I can't ever understate how... exciting it is to be a poker dealer when you're a passionate player as well. Oh, hello, not
no way!
No,
he folded as well.
What?
Another pair of tens, which is ridiculous by itself. But I actually manages to fold him.
My eyeballs are sweating. What? Oh, come on.
Let's see if Yosifov calls there with King 10. I would expect him to call. 10 big blind shove.
10 big blind shove from a player that you know has got the right ranges or close to the right ranges.
Because Bostock is shoving all the pocket pairs there anyway. You're almost flipping against like ace jack, ace queen.
Yeah, he's shoving raggy aces. Maybe even, I would even go as far with Bostock to say, knowing that Fomitsa's uber tight, he is shoving things like king 8 suited, you know.
Ridiculously tight. What was that fold? I really want to be friendly here.
Oh, hello, yeah.
He's making it very difficult.
Well, good luck, Bostock. Very unlucky there to call with King 10. I mean, we can see the cards, so it's easy for us to say, hey, don't call, you're crushed. But I mean, I think it's the right call,
But
personally.
Bostov is all in with a very good hand to be up
Yeah,
against.
he's got
Unless
his
there's
opponent
a
crashing.
10.
And 2 of them are dead, as we know.
Ooh, and
Oh, lordy.
now none of the queens are dead, though.
No, only the
So
one that's in Bostock's hands.
Queen
My
will
goodness. Oh, now hearts
No,
as
that's
well.
a
Oh,
heart
this is so
now.
sweaty.
It's not looking good.
Oh,
well,
Bostock.
it's a story of
Oh,
Bostock. It's a story of Bostock.
story.
It has gone this way for him for the
Oh.
past 3 hours, and
I really
That's
want
how
to
it
give him a
goes.
cuddle. I really do.
I
It's
feel
just
bad
awful.
for him, but
Oh,
he
yeah.
has played well, and he takes home more than 15,000 anyway for his effort. So definitely a good result for him. But when it doesn't go your way, it doesn't go your way.
No,
It's
and it's been ugly.
GG.
Really ugly. I don't think he's done anything wrong.
He doesn't deserve it, definitely.
No,
but
absolutely
that's
not.
a cruel part of poker.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Get the Fs in the chat. Max respect to Bostock.
Ah.
That is F is respect.
F is respect.
Yeah.
All right.
I learnt this from Donna.
I thought F was flash and D was dance.
Um,
I don't know.
I would prefer it if you didn't flash or dance, if that's okay. Just a gentle request from your colleague here,
all right,
Chris.
okay. I was just throwing ideas in there, but I guess
Sure.
everything doesn't have to work out.
No, as Bostock has just showed us, unfortunately. Yeah, good game, Bostock. We both think you played really, really well there, and hopefully I will see you at the Goliath Festival at the end of the month. You look like a man who will take on the Goliath, so I'll see you there.
Good game, Bostak, but look how perfect the seating arrangement is.
Yeah, it's quite pretty, isn't it?
It
So we are
is.
three-handed, Chris.
Three-handed fish party, official fish party tournament.
Yes, absolutely.
So you would make the final two here, I would expect, if it was a fish party. As you said, you make all the heads up.
So I'm going to say that we're going to see Yosifov and Lazarova heads up, personally, unless
think so?
something boots off this hand.
I think so too, but I'm not gonna continue that with a num. But still,
just
Lazarova
down the
has a
butts.
very strong ace-queen offsuit now.
It's a very, very lovely hand, three-handed.
You think she's gonna 3-bet? It certainly looks that way. And especially three-handed. Look how, I mean, think about how strong the ace-queen is and how much you really want to be 3-betting with your...
I think she should be 3-betting most of the time here. She appears to be getting these live reads. If I'm right, and she is an ex-poker dealer, what I was going to go and say is that the thousands, probably running into hundreds of thousands of hands that I've dealt, help me massively. There is, when you are at the table and involved in the game but not a player, you are able to see things that players are, oh, she's done it!
Ooh, just gone
She's
all in.
done it!
Is that a call?
No, he can't call her there, surely.
No, he just showed
No,
his
there's
hand.
Yeah,
well,
fair enough. I mean, he can call the short stack with King 10, but surely
I
he's...
did
yeah.
not expect a snap call from Yosifov
No,
as well.
because he's now in three-handed ICM hell with an absolute nit at the table and a fairly aggressive chip leader. I don't fancy being Yosifov at this time. I really don't. He needs to be, in my opinion, he needs to be attacking Formitza because he's going to be small blind against Formitza a lot. So he needs to be playing that small blind more aggressively than he would otherwise, purely because Formitza is very, very tight.
Interesting, very interesting dynamics indeed. Because usually you wanna bully the player on your right, but at this instance right here, you actually wanna continue bullying the player on your left, who actually has position on you. Because
And it's down to Lazarova, I think, to make sure that Yosifov doesn't get that opportunity. She needs to be hyper-aggressive in every position, I would say. She almost has nothing to fear at this point.
Especially with a very super tight player, three-handed.
Yeah, she has to be, but she's certainly shown the capability to be aggressive. Oh, my word.
Ooh, another ace-queen offsuit for Lazarova.
Yeah, very nice. Because she's raised so much, I'm going to go against everything else I've said and I'd like to see a flat here. Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
Oh, no,
she did raise. Oh, and another kind of like a semi-setup.
Wow,
here.
this is a very
Because
possible three.
I don't think Yosifov should fold here, but I think Yosifov is going to call. And there are quite a lot of flops where money is going to go in. But Lazarova has shown that she loves those very small c-bets. So I expect her to c-bet quite small or check this flop. It is not a beautiful flop for neither of these players.
I like a c-bet here from Lazarova purely on the line I was saying before. She needs to be hyper-aggressive. So every betting frequency needs to be up from the norm. She doesn't want to be giving these guys opportunities to make cards, or even not hit their cards, but to let run-outs happen that she can't then call or she can't then bet. So I would have liked to have seen a c-bet from her.
I
there.
like that bet here. I'm really loving
the old delay.
Should you check this flop and get a check back? I really love this bet on this ace of a deuce of hearts on the turn. And Yosifov has a weird situation for himself as well, because you have king high and you only had 125,000 to call. You have two overcards.
Yeah.
You're beating some hands. You have equity against a lot of hands. And you still have a chance to steal it away on some scary rivers. And or
boom, there it
hit
is.
a
Yeah.
king.
This is
This is why I don't like the small bets. This is exactly why I don't like the small bets. You're actually giving your opponents odds to out river, out turn, or out flop here. That was a check, verbal check.
Yeah, she's given up, which fair enough. I don't know. I do quite like a small bet.
On the river,
as long,
you mean?
Well,
or
no.
turn?
I mean just generally, as long as you are balancing, and I think she is.
Yeah.
Perhaps the dynamic has changed, where I kind of lean towards agreeing with you. Just purely more about putting pressure on. So make those big bets to put pressure on at a stage where you really can't give them any quarter.
Taste of her own medicine
Yeah,
from
and
Yosifov.
she's probably going to have to call here.
125k, yeah, I would
Because
call.
he
I would
bluffs
call.
every misdraw, and given he was big blind, there are a lot of misdraws there.
These are
He
some
probably doesn't bet a deuce or a six.
gross
Or even a
sizings.
five. He's betting only a 9 or a king for value there, and he has quite a lot of bluffs. So I think given the bet size, which is what, 10%, 15% of the pot, I think she has to call him here with ace high. I certainly would myself. Well, fair play to her.
Lazarova
She
finds
gets
the
away with
fold.
it. I feel like she might be folding too often, but I don't know. It's
Would
hard
you
to
be more
say.
willing to call there? Should he like bomb the river
No.
and make it like polarized?
No, I would say not, purely because of the ICM consideration.